This is the first of what we hope are many weekly Q&A sessions. It's tough schedule-wise for us, and we're going to make it work because it's important. We have a lot of questions that have come in, and instead of answering them one by one to the people who have sent them in, it's really much easier for us to do it all at once. And that's what we're doing, and so this is the first in the series. These questions have come in over time, so we've kind of gathered them from various places. And the first question is, where do we have it? It's
right here.
We have it here. Okay. Somewhere.
Somewhere.
I can edit this.
You don't need to.
Okay. The first question is, it's my understanding the food from the nightshade family can cause issues for some people, such as inflammation.
So, the next part.
Oh, if cayenne peppers is a member of the nightshade family, how are they presented as anti-inflammatory? Anti-inflammatory question mark.
I got it.
You've got it?
I got it.
You got this one?
I got it. So, what is a nightshade? This is a bell pepper, big red one. This is a tomato. This is a potato. This is a eggplant. This is a jalapeno, and this is a serrano. These are all examples of what nightshades are. So before I tell why nightshades are sometimes considered not good for you, let me tell you some of the wonderful things that nightshades do. Tomato, the luscious tomato, is full of lycopene, and that is a wonderful, wonderful nutrient. Lycopene is antioxidants. It's full of antioxidants, which is what we want, and also full of vitamin C, which is also an immune booster and a fighter. So we want tomatoes. Now, just as a sidebar, when you cook them, they give you even more nutrients in them than when you eat them raw. We love them raw, but we've started just popping them in at the very end of when we're cooking our eggs and potatoes or any different things. Now, a potato is also a nightshade. And some people have more problems with potatoes than they do with the other ones. Well, why do we have trouble with some of these? It's not these. They have what's called alkaloids in them. And they don't agree with some people. Not all people. It has to do with what's in your body. So if you have some kind of an autoimmune, then you may be more sensitive to these. We don't have any sensitivities here, so we eat nightshades all the time. They don't do anything wrong to us or for us or against us. But what they can do for some people is cause inflammation, and the inflammation goes into the joints and is arthritis. Now, they're not causing the arthritis, but they make it worse. So people with arthritis may need to avoid one or two of these kinds of nightshades, and maybe not all of them. And so what you do is trial and error. Which ones work for you? Which ones don't work for you? So the question is, how can nightshades, which can cause inflammation, also cause anti-inflammation with peppers? Well, it's so funny when you start doing reading, because you get all kinds of different opinions, and I don't go with opinions. I go with people that I can trust. This is George, I can't ever say his name, Metellin, and he wrote the world's healthiest book, Foods. This is a book that I used in my class, and I think we have the link below, actually, even. Or we used to. So we'll put that link for you. But he was talking about that it is a nightshade. It's still a nightshade. One person says, well, these aren't really nightshades. They're just a different kind of pepper. but they still are a nightshade, but they contain capricin. Capricin. Can't say that completely right, but if you know about that, it is it's like an aspirin. There's ibuprofen type medicine that's called a capricin because that's what makes them hot. It's also what makes them very, very good for you for anti-inflammation. So cayenne pepper is really a good thing. Now this isn't cayenne, but all peppers that are hot have some anti-inflammatory. And the other thing that you have to weigh when you're looking at these other items is, does the good things that, say, a tomato have, is it worth not having for what it might be doing to you? And you have to weigh that. So make sure that you're not just saying, oh, nightshades are bad, we're not supposed to eat them, I'm not going to eat them. Please don't do that because they're full of vitamins and minerals. I just want to tell you really quick a few other things that aren't nightshades that are very, very good for anti-inflammation, for anti-inflammatory. So there's cayenne, and then black pepper also is really good for it. Clove, not clover, clove, garlic, ginger, cinnamon, and turmeric. Those are mostly spices, and spices are really, really good anti-inflammatory. And so the only people that really have to watch out for these wonderful, wonderful vegetables are people that may have a really bad reaction to them because of their autoimmune or have arthritis, and not everybody with arthritis. Might be rheumatoid arthritis, so a different kind. But like I said, play around with them, see what are some of the things that it would do to you. And no, I did not list on here what some of the signs are. You can absolutely go and Google signs of nightshade sensitivity, and it lists a line of them for you. Okay, that's the answer to number 1.
Number 1. Has anyone heard of xylitol? Whole Foods sells it with an organic label. Have you heard of it? Is it a good substitute for sugar?
Okay. Would you want to hand me that box over there? All right. So I was really happy to get this one because xylitol is one of the things that they have taught us about at my school. Yes, it is a good substitute for sugar. It still has some it's natural, but not natural like you grow it. It's a sugar, what they call a sugar alcohol, not alcohol like you drink, but it's classified as a sugar alcohol. You can find small parts of it in different fruits, so they consider it natural. Now, some really, really good things about xylitol. If you're diabetic, they're a wonderful sugar substitute to use. The reason we don't use sugar substitutes is because we're not trying to not have the sugar in us. We're trying to get rid of the sweet cravings and not have those. But if you still want to cook and have sweet, then yes, this is a good substitute for you. So sugar has 4 calories per gram, and xylitol has 2.4 calories per gram. So it's not that much different, but as far as the glycemic for diabetics, it's really, really good for that because it does not pump the blood sugar up. It contains 0 fructose, which we know corn syrup has fructose in it, so there's no fructose, so it's a safe sugar for you to use, a sugar substitute. And it's known, the reason I learned about it is it's known for how it's really good for dental. And so we used to get a toothpaste that had it in it, and I hadn't been able to find it for a long time. But knowing I was going to answer this question, I decided to go to our local Walmart, which is about the only store we have here. And I found this one. It's called Hello. And when you go into it and look at the ingredients, one of the ingredients is, for the sweetener, they're using xylitol. So xylitol boosts dental health. When I went to my dentist and she tried to give me, a Crest or Colgate, I said, no, thank you. I use a different type of toothpaste. And she said, well, what do you use? And I said, xylitol. And she goes, oh, that's so good. And it actually is an anti-cavity one. It actually helps with dental instead of just brushing your teeth. The reason that it's so great is because it kills the bacteria. The bacteria cannot live where this is. And so the bacteria that's in your teeth that causes all the dental caries and everything that are there, they die because of this. And so xylitol, yeah, I recommend it. Now there's one other reason that it's good. It reduces ear and yeast infections, which was interesting to learn about. They found in a study that children that had chewing gum with xylitol in it had 40% less ear infections. So isn't that interesting? One caution is that xylitol is very toxic to dogs, so you don't ever want to be able to put it where your dog can get to it, like many other things in your home. So yes, I recommend xylitol. It's a great sweetener. It's really good for diabetics, and it's great in your toothpaste. There you go.
Didn't she do great? Thank you for the questions. If you have questions, be sure to send them our way. Obviously in the comments here on our Facebook, Heartiness Approach Facebook page is another place, or our personal Facebook pages if you're associated with us there. And ask the questions, and we kind of summarize the questions together, and if there's some research that needs to be done, this little researcher will do them and come up with the answers. Hopefully some of the questions are things that she already knows off the top of her head. But if not, she'll do the research and make it happen. But thanks for being part of this journey with us. We appreciate it very much, and we hope what we're bringing to you helps and encourages you.
Eat hearty.